Hi, again, this is Catalina with Granvia, and I wanted to go ahead and just take a second to follow up on the last video that we had. We discussed a little bit about the different types of programs, right? We had ESL, then we have bilingual, and the two different variations of bilingual between transitional and dual language. There are also other models, right? We have transitional early exit, transitional late exit, dual language one way, and dual language two way. All right. But I want to go ahead and talk a little bit more about that ESL because there are a lot of different ways that this can kind of manifest in reality, right, in the classroom. So the theory says we have pull out, right? This is like pulling the students out of class to give them ESL supports. And then we have content-based. And so content-based is when basically the teacher, it is when the teacher is giving ESL accommodations, those language accommodations within their own classroom, so the students never have to leave their classes. And so that, of course, is the better option, because if you taught physics and I was the ESL support teacher, and I came and I took your student away from you for 45 minutes, you better believe they're not learning physics as well as they would have learned it from you. So the idea of getting ESL certification so your students don't have to be removed from their classrooms is like the best thing that you can do as a teacher, because it's no fun having your students be taken away from you for a certain amount of time and then still having to take a test of the content that you covered while they were gone. That's no fun. And so it's also not very effective. So the ESL pullout model is not anybody's favorite model. It is something that we do because we have to be compliant. But the whole intention, I would like to believe, is onward and upward, right? Is to get our ESL certifications so that we can provide those linguistic accommodations in the classrooms, and we get to keep our students all the time. So I also believe that many of our teachers are already providing those linguistic accommodations in their classrooms, and you're just not getting any credit for it. So if you just took that ESL certification test, you would get that certified recognition and all of those preferences that come along with it. So please do yourself a favor. We offer classes monthly, virtually. We are happy to work with you wherever you are. And in our classes, we actually cover a lot about methodology and language accommodations that you can provide in your classroom for free. So you can do those things. Our classes are on our website at grandviapro.com. But let's talk about this situation that occurs sometimes in ESL. So sometimes we'll have like an ESL teacher in secondary that might be Mexican American, or they may be Puerto Rican, I'm sorry, or they could be, some sort of background where they are have some sort of language in Spanish, right? And so that ESL teacher is working in a program where the language of instruction is English, right? So we have the language of instruction being English in ESL programs because it's the language of the educators in US schools. So imagine what would happen if we had the language of instruction in ESL programs to be Spanish. So that would be a problem. Nobody could give ESL if that was the case. So we do have the language of instruction being English and ESL. But what if you have somebody like me teaching that class? And maybe I'm not ESL certified yet because maybe I just came in from college or whatever, but maybe I have some Spanish and I feel like, okay, I can connect with these students. I know how to explain this in Spanish. Even better. We should not be penalizing a teacher that can go above and beyond to support comprehensibility to students, right? So we should be saying, hey, that's a pocket of excellence. That's not the standard. Otherwise, we'd all be over here in Spanish classes, right? That's a pocket of excellence. that teacher has in her toolkit the ability to teach in Spanish. And yeah, so the students can understand more chemistry or understand more division or understand more, grammar. She's able to make those accommodations in Spanish because she happens to have Spanish. So that is actually a bonus. It's not a takeaway. It's like a buy one, get one free situation. We call them pockets of excellence in education. And so she just happens to be a pocket of excellence, but that's not by any means the standard, because if it was the standard, then nobody would be able to teach ESL. So we certainly want to be sure that we are aware that if somebody can do more, it's okay for them to do more. They're not doing anything disruptive. They're not doing anything that's against ethics. No, the child is actually getting more in that classroom because they're getting more content understanding. And again, when they have content understanding, then they can calm down and they can get their footing and they can say, well, I wonder what they're saying in English. So now they can get more English too. Anyway, so those variations of ESL, they can manifest. They are not the common variations of ESL, but they do happen. And if they happen, it's okay. You just be supportive of those people and be grateful that you have them on campus. And, try not to overwork them because they have to go at home at some point too and disconnect, hopefully, from their day job. But anyway, they are just pockets of excellence, but they're not breaking any rules or breaking any policy by going into Spanish sometimes to help newcomers understand the lesson. There's nothing wrong with it. They're just going above and beyond. And that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. All right. Well, thank you. And I look forward to meeting with you again here soon.